Hi everyone, I'm Spiro with Newsbud.com. This week we witnessed the bloody battle for Mosul come to an end, with the US-led coalition forces declaring victory over ISIS, liberating the Iraqi city. As the dust is still settling in the newly liberated city, human rights groups are accusing ISIS, the Iraqis, and the US-led forces for war crimes committed during the battle for Mosul, calling for a special commission to probe for war crimes against civilians. Neither the Iraqi government, the US-led coalition, or ISIS keep track of civilian deaths. Since the, quote, historic victory over ISIS, a lot of sites have been asking the question, what's next for ISIS? Already a US commander is warning of ISIS 2.0, quote, emerging from the ashes of Mosul. I don't doubt that the US/NATO-sponsored proxy army will regroup and return to the battlefield, but I'm sure many jihadists would like to take a break and head home for a while. In fact, many of the ISIS fighters have already returned to Europe, where many of the jihadis have been given special status and special treatment from the government. Yes, that's right. You heard right. This is not a conspiracy theory. The Swedish government is actively encouraging Swedish residents who went to fight in Iraq and Syria for ISIS to come home, where they will be given new identities to help them, quote, start over. Now, in addition to the new identities, the jihadists will also receive housing, education, free driver's licenses, financial support, and employment as part of a pilot program in an attempt to integrate the ISIS fighters back in society. Although some of the returned jihadis are complaining that it's difficult for them to find a job because they have photos of them online posing with ISIS flags, AK-47s, and dead bodies. For more information on this, refer to the show notes provided at Newsbud.com. Are you mad at your parents? Join ISIS. ISIS is currently looking for young, impressionable men. All applicants must be able to grow dense facial hair, be willing to travel, and be comfortable in front of the camera. Previous stuntman experience is preferred but not a must. Training will be provided by top intelligence agency Black Ops specialists. Apply in person at your nearest Central Intelligence front office today, or to find the front office nearest you, visit our website and enter your zip code. Our last story today is from Asia Times and is titled, New Front in Syria as Turks Rout Kurds with Putin's Blessing. The basic rundown of this article is that the final battle for Raqqa, the ISIS self-proclaimed capital in Syria, may be delayed because of a looming confrontation between Turkish forces and the YPG Kurdish forces. Turkey was targeting the Kurdish militia known as the YPG in Syria, and the Russians saw an opportunity and stepped in, providing protection from the Turks. This was a strategy by Putin to gain leverage against Turkish President Erdogan in Syria as well as the YPG. Now, Erdogan quickly changed his position once he saw the Russians supporting the Kurds and agreed to all of Russia's demands on Syria as long as a Kurdish state never be allowed to take root on the Turkish-Syrian border. And now Putin is looking the other way while Turkey invades Syria, targeting the Kurdish forces and ISIS. And now the YPG is screaming that Putin sold them out with an under-the-table deal that was made between Russia and Turkey. Now, what the article fails to mention is the elephant in the room, and that is that the U.S. just overtly, out in the open for everyone to see, for the first time announced that they are now arming the YPG with highly sophisticated, powerful weapons. And this is a huge black eye to the NATO ally Turkey, who has listed the YPG as a terrorist organization. So the U.S. essentially flipped the YPG from the Russians. This is potentially a game changer in Syria, and the article doesn't even mention it at all. They just want you to focus on how Putin threw the Kurdish YPG under the bus to the bloodthirsty Erdogan. Now, this is just an example of why it's important to check multiple sources and be cautious of sites putting their own spin on stories and only presenting one side of the story. Well, here at Newsbud, we report both sides of the story to give you the most complete and up-to-date news and analysis. Newsbud is 100% independent and supported only by you, the people. Now, there's only 1 week left to contribute to Newsbud's fundraiser. We need your support now more than ever to keep this website running, so go to newsbud.com and be sure to support independent media. Also, be sure to join the Newsbud activist community where you'll have access to exclusive videos, interviews, articles, roundtables, and more. Newsbud is a community-based news site that produces content for those who value it. If you value Newsbud, show your support. For all of us here at Newsbud, thank you for your support.